thunderstorms could be producing some large hail, also some very strong damaging winds. This will be for parts of the south, including Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Missouri as well. Very active period of severe weather beginning to take shape. We had some, level 1 threat yesterday. Today we go to level 2 out of 5. And guess what? We take this right through the end of the week. It is March, and boy, season is kicking up just like that. You start to see the southwest blow coming in, big dip in the jet, and a lot of that moisture that Britta was just highlighting really getting pumped up. Dew points are going to be into the 60s today. The heat is there. You'll step outside, and oftentimes we say this, if you've lived through this type of event, you're like, I feel like severe weather is in the forecast, because you can just kind of sense everything around you. A warmer, more humid air mass, and we're going into March.
Has a different feel.
Absolutely. Could see some large hail out of these storms, a lot of cold air aloft as well.
Now, this morning we are waking up to some light rain showers in this zone. Sometimes that can stabilize the atmosphere.
Yes.
We'll see what happens with that. I think we'll have enough oomph to create some sort of thunderstorm development later this afternoon. But, waking up to overcast skies and some rain is not a bad thing.
Look at these storms, by the way.
Yeah.
Those tops of those.
And that just huge blossom of convection yesterday is still kind of holding strong this morning. There's
right
those thunderstorms right there. Thankfully, sub-severe. We'll see what happens when that energy kind of drifts into the zone. Hail potential is there with cold air aloft. We'll be able to make some pretty big hailstones. So a good idea just to, park your car in the garage, under the carport, keep your property protected.
Yeah, here's a look at the amounts of moisture getting pumped in. Melanie, when we're talking about this, obviously what sticks out are those thunderstorms and those clusters that we saw, but the areas to watch later today are right in through here, portions of Texas, Oklahoma, areas where we do see some large hailstones, and this is just the beginning.
Yeah, you do see that available storm energy that we're going to have with that overall setup. As we go forward, it looks like we'll be monitoring how much cloud cover we are going to see. That could limit some of the capability of some of those thunderstorms to develop. But if you get more of those clouds to break, then you get that daytime warming, and that's just going to further help to fuel some of these storms. Here's a closer look at the available storm energy, and Craig highlights it right there. And you can see while we have good chance of some of that storm energy to be available there, as that cold front passes through, and we'll be able to tap into that and help to trigger some of those storm threats. Meantime, you also look at the wind shear that's available too across the plains, and that will allow that threat for some of that twisting, leading to the potential for some of these strong to severe storms. But it is not just going to be for Wednesday. We're going to look ahead to Thursday and Friday. That severe storm threat is also going to increase for cities like Dallas, Oklahoma City, and also Kansas City in the mix. So it's a good time to start getting more weather aware. As we look at that threat for Thursday and Friday, here what's going to set up is the threat for a dry line. So you're going to have that moist air that's moving in out ahead of that line, and then behind it you have the drier air coming in from the desert southwest, and this creates that boundary that can help to fuel some of these storms. Meantime, you can also look at some of the available storm energy too. You have this high that you can't see from this map, but it's going to be off the east coast, and that's going to continue to help to fuel in more of that moisture out of the Gulf of America. So you have that clockwise flow around the high that is going to transport more of that into the central plains. So a closer look at that storm threat for tomorrow. You can see a level 2 out of 5 risk, and that is highlighted for parts of Texas into Oklahoma as well as Kansas. A closer look at that, Lubbock, you're in the mix, Amarillo, and then just 2 areas west of Wichita. Here's a closer look at our exclusive Fox weather forecast model. By the time we get to midday, you can see some of those storms that are firing off just near Oklahoma City. That transitions off to the northeast. Meantime, behind that, through the evening, we'll have another area of storms that starts to develop, and this is where we have that scattered threat for some of those severe storms to bring the threat for some hail as well as severe wind, and a couple of tornadoes are also possible in the mix, Craig. As we go forward overnight and into Friday morning, there is that threat for some of these storms to happen through the overnight hours. By the time we get to Friday, look at that, an increased risk for some severe weather, and that's highlighted by the level 3 out of 5 threat, and it's pretty much these same areas, Craig.
Yeah, and that's the tough thing, a lot of this, especially when you talk about the dry line setting up, those clusters clusters develop quickly. They move through. You get ahead into Friday with that level 3 out of 5 flood risk or severe storm risk. This came out since yesterday from Storm Prediction Center. As we get closer to Thursday evening, perhaps even into Friday morning, potentially see that upgrade. We haven't seen a level 3 in quite some time here. A lot of the energy coming together right over the plains is the perfect setup. Look at the cold, dry air bumping into that very warm, humid air. Behind it, you're going to notice a temperature difference. But my friend Melanie, this takes us through the overnight hours. So you have to make sure that you are ready and you get waits to get notified because some of this does go past sunset.